Let me ask you, when we want to find a good deal, okay? To find a good deal, you can do several things, but I want to brainstorm with you. If you want to find a good deal, you want to find an unusual situation. Somebody has to sell because of a reason. So there are distressed situations, right? Distressed. A distressed sale is always an interesting sale, a good price, etc. Now, remember what I told you yesterday. You don't have to find a property below market to make money. What you have to find a property is a property to make money with is a property that has a potential for increase in value. A land that is built in the front only, and I can get approval to build in the back, and I can get it at a very good price. It will have some cash flow, and the rest will be increased cash flow when I build it. A property that's run down, you know, these mom and pop operation of small apartment buildings, they ran it to the ground, and now they don't want to fix anything. They want to step out, and they're willing to sell it at a better price. People who don't want to use a broker, they just want to sell it directly. They're willing to carry the financing or do something creative because they don't want to pay commissions and they want to make it a one-on-one deal. All kinds of situations. But if you can get the property also below market and increase its value, that gives you more and more profit. Do you agree, yes or no? It's a multiplier effect. All right. So generally there are two distress situations. That's what I want people to understand. Two types of distress situations. There are people in distress and there are properties in distress. Which one will be better for you to make a better deal? People in distress or properties in distress? How many people say properties? How many people say people? Okay. People in distress you can make a lot of money with. Okay, so let me explain a little bit further on this. When it comes to apartment buildings, by the way, we do training, or we used to do training for 12 different types of commercial properties. But listen to this. When it comes to apartment buildings, and you're trying to acquire an apartment building, you want to stay, from 6 units to 50 units. Because it's a good critical mass. It's not too big. So when you turn around to sell them, it's easy to sell. If you're going to go over that and it's too big, like 100 units, the buyers are big syndicators, real estate investment trusts, big companies and institutions. So they negotiate with you to death and you have less buyers. You have less pool of buyers. So you're not able to get the maximum profits you want. So I much prefer to stay smaller units and make a lot of money. So there are different classes of apartment building. There is the A class, B class, C class, and D class. A class is property in a great location, great condition. B class is not so good of like a little bit lower location, lower condition. C is a property that could be maybe in a B location, but it's a C property. That means a really worse condition and maybe okay location. D is a disaster. It's a killer's location. Not killer location like nice. No, killer's location. You understand? Like you can't even go collect rent there. By the way, which one you can make the most money with? How many people say C? Okay. How many people say D? Okay. How many people say B? How many people say A? Okay, why do you say A? Okay, because he say if you have already a proven method and you can make small improvements, okay. What if it's in actual perfect condition and it's a great location? I'll tell you why. Listen to me carefully now, because a lot of seminar people, I heard them say, you can't make money with A, you should go to the C. You want to avoid the D, just stay with this C, make it B. If every now and then you get a B at a good price, do it. No, I'm open to all. Why? I'm looking at what I'm going to do. If I have an A location and it's a distressed seller, I can make a very good deal and don't have to do much to the property. Isn't that awesome? Yes or no? So let's talk about distressed situations for a while. I'll give you the first one and we'll brainstorm the rest. 1, divorce. We talked about the reasons for divorce yesterday. I'm not going to belabor the point, but if you've ever seen a couple going through divorce, it's really sad and it's very frustrating because all they want is out. They can't see straight. The anger blinds them completely. Very sad. I don't like to buy properties that are in divorce cases, but sometimes the court says you have a court order to liquidate the final asset in 45 days. You better step in and buy it because somebody else will. I remember in Palos Verdes a few years ago, I'm looking at an ad and I see a property for sale by owner on Craigslist. Craigslist, for sale by owner, Ocean View, Palos Verdes. Well, I know Palos Verdes very well because my brother and sister-in-law live in Palos Verdes. And I had a couple of properties on Ganado Drive. I don't know if you know Palos Verdes anyway. So I told my wife, oh, let's go take a quick look there. I called. This guy answered. He said, come over at 6 p.m. I said, okay. He said, just confirm with me if you can be there at 6. Oh, I'll be there at 6. I go, take my wife. We go there. We're going to dinner. So I said, just swing by. Don't worry. We go over. Now, my wife is very quiet and very shy. Okay. So we arrive and knock on the door. Very beautiful, tall lady opened the door, said, hi, how are you? I could see behind her, the glass door, you can see the ocean right there. Very quiet. It's like so beautiful. And the Trump course down and just really beautiful. She said, come in. I come in and there's a gentleman standing. It's empty. The house is empty. There's no furniture. There's a kitchen counter and a tall gentleman standing there like this. Just his body language, the entire vibe, you could feel there is tension. So I said, wow, what a beautiful view. Right? I always try to be very nice with people. You understand? Like I don't try to be difficult in my negotiations and all this. I know when to create pressure and when to be nice. And I can create so much pressure that people can faint. Believe me, it's not an effort from my part at all. Okay? It's all part of the game. But I saw the beautiful view and I walked towards it and I said, my God, what a beautiful view. I said so to the lady, because usually the lady is the boss. She's going to make the final say. I said, so you're selling this house and the price is $1,050,000? She said, I'll sell it at any price as long as he doesn't make a penny. I'm like, oh my God. So I turned around, look at the guy, and the guy says, I'd rather burn this house if she thinks she's going to make a penny. Now my wife is like, can we leave? Let's go. I said, like, one moment, just let me. He said, you want to go ahead and take a look. Go ahead and take a look. I'm like thinking to myself, is it okay to leave them right here in the living room? Because there could be some damages going on, you know? So I walk over and I'm like, this is a steal of a deal. I'm like walking over. I can't even find the switch for one of the rooms. It's kind of dark. And my wife says, you haven't even looked. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just come with me. We go all the way to the back. I come back and I say, okay, what can we do? I have the contract right here. Can we fill it out? We start writing. And the tension is going on. And she calls him name and he calls her name. And my wife says like, let's leave and all this. And I thought to myself, first of all, if I don't solve their problem, it's just going to keep getting worse. We took the property. I literally didn't have to do anything for the property. I put it back for sale. We closed right away because there was a court order to sell within 45 days because they kept fighting. And the broker was supposed to show up with her. Her friend, the broker, was late. By the time I finished everything and I was leaving, it was her friend. She wasn't even making a commission. They were selling it directly. I didn't have to do anything. I just put the property for sale by owner, which you get a lot of calls in California because for some reason people in California don't do for sale by owner. So I always want to put for sale by owner. I get like amazing number of phone calls. From brokers as well. And I tell the brokers, thank you for calling, appreciate your effort, find me something similar. So but I tell them, I'm not listing it with you, there's no reason. But now if you bring me a buyer, I'll pay you a commission, and I always have. And I pay them usually a bigger commission than if they listed it, but they don't bring the buyer, because the brokers are programmed to list and sell. You understand? List, so they can put the name, it's an advertisement for them. But anyway, so it was a simple deal that had to do with divorce. Now, can you find that with apartment buildings, yes or no? Yeah, absolutely, positively. It's assets that they must liquidate, they must move on with. Now, what other distress situation with people? Give me an example. Death. So it's a probate sale. Now, you can make very good deals if the probate, if it's an estate sale, and the person, the executor, the person in charge of the whole thing is out of state. One of the deals also we did, the owner was in Kansas, they inherited the property, and she wanted to sell it right away. She couldn't comprehend the value of the property. She couldn't comprehend that 1 acre is worth at least $2 million. So when they put it for sale, she told the broker, I need to sell it fast, I need out in 30 days. So price it to sell as soon as possible. So yours truly, when the advertisement came, I said, this is a steal of a deal. I went to look, 1 acre, a house that was falling apart, but the land alone was worth $2 million. The house actually, the only reason the house was standing is because the termites were holding hands. I mean, there was like no reason for the house to stand. So we made the deal very quickly, and I asked the broker, is there anything I'm missing? And he said, no, it's an estate sale. And the lady said, sell in 1 week. So time is of the essence. You close fast, you win the game. Done. So, estate sale. What else? Financial hardship. Financial hardship that coming from other things. They lost their job. They had a small 15-unit apartment building. Now they can't deal with the rehab. The people are upset. They just say, well, let me just sell it and move on with life. 4, how about sickness? Right? Illness. Very sad. Somebody gets sick. Say, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that. How about personal reasons? Personal reasons. Like I remember this deal in Texas. A couple of my students did the deal. The way they did it was the gentleman had 2 sons from 2 different marriages. And he said, I'm getting old. I'm going to die soon. I know I'm not going to make it another year. I need to sell this property. So I can give my 2 sons money instead of a property. They're going to keep fighting. It made sense. So I was working with my students on the deal, and we did the deal. Literally, he had, listen to this. When we were on the conference call with the broker, I said to the broker, but I don't understand. Why are you selling it at this price? I mean, we're looking at Google Earth. We're seeing it's a busy area and all this. It's a big single-tenant building. And he said, it's a gentleman, let me just disclose to you, it's a gentleman that needs to sell because he has 2 sons from 2 different marriages. And he said they're going to fight. But if I sell and separate money, give them money, they're done. There will be no fighting and the family can continue. And I said, okay, well, we're going to put it under contract. And he said, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to operate it? And I said, no, we're probably going to get a tenant. Or maybe we'll operate it, we'll see. He said, because I have a tenant. I said, come again? He said, I have a tenant. I said, so why don't you put him in the building? He said, I told you again, the owner said, I don't want to have my kids inherit a building that will fight. I said, wait a minute. So you got the property for sale below market, you got a tenant ready to go, and all you want to do is do a sale? He said, yes. Done. And we signed up an insurance company making $8 million. They make $8 million a year. They signed up for a 10-year lease, and we just had to give them back credit, $80,000 for some improvement in the space. It was a personal reason. It's a distress situation where the guy says, it doesn't matter, I just want to leave my kids with a positive energy, not having them fight over money. What other distress reasons? Having liens, like you can say IRS liens, code enforcement liens. How about a brand new property where they don't give you the permits? You know, like City of Los Angeles is phenomenal with, I don't care because I don't do developments here, so I can speak freely about the City of Los Angeles. I don't care. So let me tell you what they do. Things like, oh, you're developing this? You're not using union people? It's a big project? We're going to mess with you. We're going to keep giving you a hard time for things. Oh, you just finished this apartment building development? And you want the permit to rent it? No, we prefer that you sell it. So we're not going to give you the permit. But they're not going to say we prefer that you sell it. They're just not going to give you the permit. They keep giving you problems and delays and delays and delays until you get frustrated and say, okay, I'm going to sell it. Why? Because when you sell it, they're going to get some transfer tax. The assessment value will be higher. And then next thing you know, all the taxes will be higher. Are you with me? It's a beautiful city to understand. Every problem, by the way, every problem I'll tell you is an opportunity or a problem. Because most people see a problem, they're like, oh, I don't know, man, I just knew it's going to be too hard. Well, thank God it's hard because most people will give up. Most people give up. You have to have a lot of tenacity because you constantly have doubt in your head. Constantly there is doubt. Even if you're going to go from here to there, you have a counter thought. Should I? Maybe I'm going to fail. Maybe I'm going to trip. Maybe I shouldn't go there. Maybe I should wait here. You understand? So you have to be like, I'm going to do this and then boom, you do it. I'm going to do that, then you do it. You move forward and you figure out what you're going to do next. I don't know what's outside, but I'm going to get to that door, then I'm going to see what's outside. I'm going to go over here, then I'm going to see what's on this side. Not keep saying, I wonder what's over there. So sometimes you have these code enforcement issues, no permits given to developers and stuff, which can help a great deal for you to get in a distress situation. Now, properties in distress.